it's Felicity from Get Your Rock Out here, talking to the lovely John from It Bites. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you, Felicity. Not too bad at all.
Fantastic, I'm very glad to hear it. We are here at HRH Prog. Have you managed to see any bands yet?
I caught a tiny bit of the Reasoning, the end of their set. I've known those guys for a number of years now. I mixed one of their albums, and it was nice to see them and catch up with them. As of that, I've just been sort of wandering from backstage area to backstage area like a hobo with my bag, looking for somewhere to put my clothes. But apparently we only get the dressing room half an hour before we go on stage, so I shall remain homeless until that point.
Oh, like a little turtle, really?
Yeah,
just shuffling. Yeah.
Hero and a half shell. Did you say Ninja Turtle?
I didn't say a Ninja Turtle. Oh. I said a little turtle, but a Ninja Turtle.
A little turtle, yes, I'm a little Ninja Turtle. This is going well.
It is. I'm impressed though, Ninja Turtles in a prog interview. I think
that'd be great.
Some kind of medal. Yeah.
Got off to a good start there.
Definitely, most definitely. You guys are playing later on today.
We're playing, yes.
Are you like ridiculously stoked, or are you not quite feeling the pre-show excitement yet?
Stoked, as in it's kid speak. Yes, I'm pretty stoked. Yeah, it's off the chain, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, I've been. I haven't really. As It Bites, we don't really do many festivals per se. We don't really get asked. Every year I've been nagging certain other festivals to take us on their billing, but I think we're just too pop for the we're too pop for the prog festivals, and we're too prog for the pop festivals or the rock festivals. We don't fit into any particular little camp, so we annoy everyone. But they've let us on the prog stage. I think we belong on the AOR stage. What do I know? No, we haven't got long hair, doesn't count.
You have, of course, just come off tour with FM as well.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you know, I caught the Manchester set. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And a fair proportion of the audience seemed to be there to see, to see you. Did you find that at a lot of the venues around the country?
Well, we only did the last 4 dates, but yeah, and certainly it wasn't booze and rotten oranges and whatever every time we came off stage. So that was kind of reassuring. I wasn't sure what to make of it because they, FM and It Bites started pretty much at the same time back in the day, before I was involved in any of this. And basically, yeah. I mean, they're completely different bands to the sort of band that we are, but they very kindly asked us and we said yes. And I was, politely surprised to see that actually we did go down all right.
And yeah, I mean, kind of audience-wise, the kind of crowd participation, did you find that you had as much of a crowd that were kind of getting into your set as like more than FM's? I mean, the Manchester date, as I said, I did know a fair few that were there just to see you. Or did you find that some shows were more of a struggle?
To be honest with you, I wasn't really paying attention. No, to quote Spinal Tap, they were still booing them when we came off, or whatever. No, I don't know. They were just, like I said, it wasn't stony silence when we finished playing songs. There was a lot of applause and that. I'm assuming some die-hard AOR fans were probably sitting in the back with their arms folded going, what on earth is this Toy Town nonsense? But, yeah, no, it went down well. I mean, the bottom line is the guys from FM were really, really nice to us and really kind to us and treated us really well. I mean, I've done some support gigs in the past. I'm not going to mention any names because that would be slanderous. And they were treated very badly indeed by all the people involved, and it's a nice thing. I think it's just there was a lot of mutual respect between both bands. Well, certainly from our I mean, funny enough, the guys from FM, Pete and Steve from FM, I was a little lowly tape op in a studio in Reading when they were working on their Up album, and I was about 19 years old at the time, and I was the guy pressing record and pretending to know what I did. And they don't remember that, of course. Heartbroken. I was waiting for all these years to tell that anecdote, and they're like, "Oh, really? No, we don't remember that." But anyway, they pretended to remember it just to make me feel better. So thanks to them for that.
Making the lonely Ninja Turtle feel.
Lonely Ninja Turtle feels slightly less homeless.
Kind of music-wise, I expected the audience at this, I must admit, to be a fair bit older than they are. I think there's quite a few of the younger generation mixed between the AOR and the Prog Fest here.
What define younger generation?
I don't think I could do that without insulting people rather greatly.
Yeah.
But I mean, kind of
I'm still in my 30s. Does that count? Does that count?
stereotypically, you know, the kind of Prague AOR do have an older audience, and the kids aren't particularly down with it. But I have noticed...
Kids that are stoked.
Yeah,
those
that one.
ones.
I know, this is the thing, I never say, like, cool words.
Yo,
I don't
I'm
know what
hanging
it is.
with my bros, ifs.
Brosifs.
I don't know. A guy that works in my studio is really down with the kids.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and so I pick up all this street urban speak from him. I don't know what any of it means, but I pretend to.
Good. If you just throw the occasional word in there, like you're meant to do it,
Yeah, okay.
then people will kind of believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like totes instead of
Totes.
totally.
Yeah. Amaze balls.
I don't
know.
It's a crime against the English
As far
language,
as,
that's
like,
what it is.
what would Edgar Allan Poe say, eh?
Well, exactly. You know, Oscar Wilde is turning in his grave.
Rotating fastly in his grave, yeah.
But yeah, this kid generation.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that over the last kind of few years, the Prague AOR stuff has started appealing to them more? Have you noticed a big difference with it in shows, age-wise, or have you not really?
Well, I think what happens, certainly at Bites gigs, is that these sort of middle-aged people bring their long-suffering children along and force them to listen to our strange band of off-key caterwauling in the hope that they might suddenly, you know, share something in common with their aging parents. But I don't know. I think there's a very slack handful of younger people that actually like it Bites, and maybe something, you know. I think there's a lot of, I think from the sort of AOR classic rock side of things, you know, there's a lot of people that sort of, you know, there was a market for it. I think, you know, like a friend of mine, Nathan James, who's he's in. You know, I went to one of his gigs recently at the Hippodrome, and there was an awful lot of young people, you know, and an awful lot of screaming girlies. But certainly, you won't find that at an It Bites concert. Unless I put it in the contract, I'm not going on stage unless there's a line of supermodels in front of me. Okay?
I want at least 3 bras thrown on stage during
yes, not just bras, knickers, paraphernalia, confetti, you name it. That's what I want. And unless I get that for at least the first 3 minutes of the concert, I'm walking off in a strop.
You know what? Next time I see you guys, I'm just going to stand there throwing different bits of underwear on stage.
Please do.
I think
Please
it's
do.
Quite entertaining.
Yes. That's your orders this evening. Okay.
Fantastic. Evening. It's 4 o'clock.
I know, but at 6:30 when we're playing.
I'll still be interviewing then. You see, and I don't have a stock of underwear with me. I have lots of socks.
That'll do.
But really,
Yeah.
throw my
Not odd socks though, because I'm very OCD. Only matching pairs.
I never wear matching pairs. I'm afraid.
Oh
All I've
gosh,
got
we're
with me
running
is
into
odd
trouble
socks.
here.
We are, aren't we? This interview could end sooner than expected as you walk on in disgust. I think I've got all plain black ones on today, though, so do you think you could cope with that? Yeah, you can't see them under the boots.
All the way up there.
Okay. Yeah, no. I was going to
And
wear
what's the
my...
socks what I've got on? I've got 80s socks.
Oh, I like
That's quite fitting, isn't it?
It is. Are they both the same, though?
Yeah, they are. Look, see? There we go.
Yes, that's...
It's like an 80s chessboard. There we go.
I don't think I've ever seen an 80s themed chessboard. I think we should introduce
Neon
them.
colours, you know, like a naff dance floor. Yeah.
I like it. I think the world is crying out for one of these.
I think you're right, yeah.
You guys, you had musically. Let's move away from socks and underwear.
Yeah.
But you had Map of the Past out last year.
Yeah.
You know, and just absolutely rave reviews. I don't think I saw a bad review for it.
I think I managed to threaten enough people that didn't happen.
Well done. Well done.
No, it was very, generally well received. I mean, obviously that didn't translate into sales, but it was critically acclaimed by some people. You know, I think that I just feel vindicated, really. The fact that we can still make albums which people still think are relevant, you know, because a lot of bands that were sort of around in the 80s, you'll find them at like Rewind Festival and they won't bother releasing any new music, but that was never the remit, you know. I didn't want to get involved in this unless we were going to push the band forward and try to do different things. And Map of the Past was a bit of a departure from other It Bites albums, and that, you know, it was just, we had orchestras on it and all sorts of things. So yeah, I'm glad we did it. I've yet to see a sales report, but when I do, I'll let you know whether it was worth all the hassle and effort. And if it wasn't, I'll go back to gardening.
Gardening.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, I mean, could you really see yourself in the life of that music at all?
No, I couldn't. No, I mean, I'm involved in music on a day-to-day basis because I produce bands and I mix bands and I record bands and I write music for bands. So, you know, It Bites is kind of, in a way, I mean, it's an unfortunate thing, but I'd have to call it a bit of a hobby or a side project, but one that I enjoy greatly, and I put all my love, you know, I put a great deal of love into it. It's not just something that I'm doing, you know, a lot of people rely on still performing and music, you know, as their day-to-day income. A lot of artists who had their heyday in the 80s and the 70s just go out there and rely on playing music live to make their livelihood. But I do it just for the sheer enjoyment of doing it and for pretending that I'm a rock star about 3 minutes every weekend, you know.
But to be honest, I think that it kind of shows through so much when a band is doing it simply because they love being on stage. And I think you end up with much better performances because of it when you're not getting the feeling that they're just doing it for the sake of making money.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, believe you me, if money is your motivation, it's about at this particular point in history, music is probably the worst career to be involved in. You know, if music is its own reward, and that is probably the truest thing that, you know, truest expression that, you know, represents it really. And to be honest with you, you know, if I was only doing this for money, I'd have stopped deluding myself in about 1995. You know, I do it purely for the love of doing it and complete narcissism. You know.
Fantastic. Nothing like honesty.
No, yeah, just unmitigated honesty. There you go.
And kind of album-wise, have you got vague plans to start working on another one? Are you thinking, you know what, we'd quite like to bring something else out in the not too distant future?
I want to bring an album out next week.
Fantastic.
Unfortunately, I haven't written that album yet. So, but when I do write that album, I'll drop you a text and let you know. But I'm gonna, as soon as I manage to clear the horrible backlog of mixing that I've got in my own studio, I will start recording another It Bites album with my colleagues and compatriots in crime, musical 7/8 crime. Yes.
Brilliant. And the kind of rest of the year, what does it hold for you?
I'm going to be doing some. What am I doing? I'm trying to think now. Lots of different things. I'm going to Australia to produce a band. I'm going to be doing hopefully some more stuff with Architects in the not too distant future. More mixing for McFly, hopefully. That sounds like showboating Mitchell. Yeah, yeah, and a lot of gardening. No, I don't know. Yeah, so more of the same. Just basically locked away in a studio for the foreseeable future.
It's a good place to be. Yeah. You need to invent a garden studio. You need to somehow manage to...
Like a little bonsai garden on top of the speakers that I can tend when I'm bored.
Yes, with a little bit of turf in the corner as well, so you can go and sit on your lawn when you want to relax.
That'd be great, yeah. Just tiny little one of those little fold-out seats that you see at racing, horse racing things. I can sit on in the corner when I'm fed up with the band.
I think that we're on to something special.
We're going.
I will look forward to coming round and seeing your studio garden.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Thank you. I think it's a cracking plan.
It's a plan with no drawbacks.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat.
Thank you, Felicity. No problem.
It's been an utter pleasure. And we'll see you very excitingly later on tonight.
Excellent.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.